Iris? Justin, why don't you sit down?
As acting chairman, I declare this meeting called to order. The agenda for today's meeting is as follows. First, the election of officers. Grant Wheeler has been nominated new chairman of the board. As new vice president and head of the oil production department, the nomination is Rena Decker.
Do you remember Mrs. Sullivan, Kate?
Oh, yes, they live 2 cabins down from our place at the lake.
That's right. She's offered to keep an eye out in case Barrett and Steve return to the cabin. If they do, she's going to call us.
Well, now, if they don't go back to the cabin, do you think they'll leave town?
Well, if they leave town, they'll have to return the rental car, so the people from the rental car place will call us here.
Well, what about Cody?
Cody has the fellows from the highway patrol looking for Barrett's car, and if they see him, he's going to call us here immediately. So, all we can do now is wait.
We don't know how long that will be, do we?
No, we don't, Kate. Listen, why don't you and Ginny go get some rest, and I'm going to let you know what happens the minute I hear it, okay? Honey, we're going to find Steve, I promise.
Are we going back to the ranch in Colorado where you worked last summer?
No. I don't think I want to go back there.
Well, I thought you told Grandma that it was real nice there. I mean, that's what she told me.
Oh, the people were nice enough. I'd like to work on a much bigger ranch, that's all.
Where?
Tell you what, there's a map in the glove compartment. Why don't you pick out a place, okay?
Well, you want to go out west?
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
Well, in that case, you're going in the wrong direction.
We're going to turn the car in first.
Well, then how are we going to get out west?
We'll rent another one.
Well, I'd like to keep this car. It's a good little car.
I know, but we can't take this one out of state without a drop-off charge. We'll rent one we can drive across country and be on our way.
Texas, starring Beverly McKinsey.
Those in favor of Grant Wheeler as chairman of the board and chief operating officer of World Oil? Opposed? Well, congratulations, Grant.
Thank you, Mr. King. First of all, I would like to thank the members of the board for their support and their trust. And now for the next item on the agenda, the consideration of Rena Decker as vice president and head of the oil production department.
Question.
Yes, Mr. Davenport.
May I inquire about Mrs. Decker's business experience?
Rena, perhaps you'd like to step outside.
If you don't mind, I think I can answer questions about myself better than anyone.
All right.
Thank you. Gentlemen, I don't have any formal business experience. However, I have done a lot of work for charities. I've organized fundraising.
$2 million for that new children's wing over at Gulf Coast Hospital.
That hardly qualifies her to be head of the oil production division.
Iris Wheeler obviously feels she has potential, or she would not have requested her election as vice president.
Is there any further discussion? Very well. Then those in favor of the election of Rena Decker as vice president and head of the oil production department so indicate. All opposed? Motion is carried. Congratulations, Rena.
Well, if you prefer another car.
No, I want to turn this one in. I don't want another. So if you'll just process this, we'll get on our way.
Well, since you have been so inconvenienced, we would be happy to give you another car, free of charge, for the remainder of your contract. You have 5 days left.
We're leaving town.
Oh, I see. Well, Mr. Marshall? Mr. Marshall, I'm so sorry that you had engine trouble. Oh, Sonny, could you come in here, please? Sonny will take care of everything for you. Sonny, this is Mr. Marshall. He's turning in his car because he has to leave town. They're not staying in town as long as they had expected.
Well, gee, I'm sorry to hear that. How you doing, son?
Fine.
You know, Texas is a mighty big state. You can't see much of it in one day.
I was born here. I've seen a lot of Texas.
They had engine trouble, Sonny, so we will have to deduct a portion from their bill.
That's not necessary. Just complete the forms and we'll be on our way.
Oh, it's no problem. We like to see our customers satisfied and happy.
We're in a rush.
Well, this won't take long. So, did you get to go fishing?
Yeah, I caught 10 fish.
How would you like to stay around here and teach me a few things?
Sir, the forms?
No, I'll take care of it, Sonny.
Hi. Thought you were going to take a nap.
Oh, I couldn't sleep.
I'm so tired.
I know. I just can't stop thinking about Stephen.
I know. You just didn't get any sleep last night, though, either.
As long as I'm with you, I'll be all right.
You know, Lurleen came by a few minutes ago. She said she'd fix us something to eat if we were hungry.
I couldn't eat anything. How's Lurleen?
Oh, she seems fine.
I really should go and visit with her.
Okay.
I went into Stephen's room. You know that picture that he and Buddy had taken when they went to camp this summer together?
Mm-hmm.
He took it with him.
Buddy's his best friend.
Well, maybe that means that he'll write him a letter eventually, don't you think?
Maybe it does. Honey, I want you to know that if Steve and Barrett leave town before...
Steve promised to take care of Rena after Max died.
I know.
So he was going to want to come back and check on that before long. He's very loyal, you know. Unless Barrett turns Steve against Rena, too.
No, that isn't going to happen.
Oh, I wouldn't count on it, Ryan. Barrett hates Rena almost as much as he hates me.
But Steve loves Rena almost as much as he loves you. Now, Barrett's not going to change him no matter how hard he tries.
Well, he sure managed to get Steve to question it. I mean, if Steve hadn't believed that letter that Barrett had faked, Ryan, how can Steve believe that we'd abandon him?
Look, Barrett's timing was perfect. He was able to get everything he wanted. Steve was upset about Max dying, about us getting married, about having to move into town. Steve was just very vulnerable to Barrett's tricks.
I didn't help him much either. I didn't spend enough time with him. I was too busy making wedding plans and moving, and I didn't even realize that Steve needed me.
That's not true. Now, you have to stop blaming yourself. Hello? Uh-huh. Do you think you can stall them until we get there? We're on our way. Barrett and Steve are at the rent-a-car agency. Mrs. Key is going to try to stall them until we get there.
I just stopped by to let you know that everything is running smoothly for Dad's surprise party tonight.
Oh, good.
Now, Dennis, do you need any help in setting up the video equipment so you can show Elliot's documentary?
No, I've taken care of all that. Thanks.
And Iris is taking care of the rest of the preparations?
She seems to have everything under control, yeah.
Well, then it looks as if you've thought of everything.
Well, I hope so. I want everything to run well tonight.
Oh, it will. Now, Dennis, if you'll excuse me, I have got to be running along. I'm going to be late for a very important meeting.
Vicky, do you think Dad suspects anything?
Not a thing. I think Elliot's in for quite a surprise.
So do I.
Hey, Mr. Carrington, glad you came by. I got something for you.
Oh, these the irrigation project tapes?
Yep.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. You saved me a trip.
Frankie, listen, you're familiar with all of the film labs in Houston, aren't you?
Most of them. Why?
Well, this will sound like a strange question, but I was wondering where someone would go who was making a copy of a pornographic film or pictures.
Well, I don't really know, Mr. Carrington. You go just about anywhere if you know one of the guys that works there.
But there's no one place that specializes in that sort of thing.
No. Why do you want to know? You thinking of going into that business, are you?
No, I was asking for a friend of mine.
Sorry, I can't help you out.
Well, thanks anyway, Frankie.
This for the 5 o'clock news or something?
No, it's personal. If it's all the same to you, I'd just assume you didn't mention this to anyone.
What is it, classified information?
Close. The pornographic films.
Go. Porno films, eh?
Yeah, well, one of the guys down in sports is getting married. We thought we'd throw him a little surprise party.
Dad,
What is it?
I'm getting hungry.
Well, we'll get something to eat soon.
How long is this gonna take?
I don't know. Mrs. Key.
I'll be with you in a minute.
Oh, where's Mr. Craig?
He'll be right back.
Well, couldn't he complete the forms?
Well, he had to go and check the mileage on your car.
Dad, I got a good idea. Why don't we go eat, and then when we come back, they'll be ready?
For heaven's sake, Steve, I told you we're going to finish this before we eat. Now, how many times do I have to tell you that?
Okay, Dad.
I'm sorry, Steve. Look, we'll be out of here in a jiffy. Why don't you go outside and wait for me out there, okay? Mr. Craig, I'd like to conclude this transaction as soon as possible.
We're doing our best, Mr. Marshall. May I see your credit card, please?
What have you lost?
Where are the charge card forms kept?
In the back.
Say, could I rent a car for a couple of days, compact?
Sure thing.
I'm delighted, Rena. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jimbo. I don't think I could have done it without your help.
I think you're going to be a great asset to World Oil. Welcome aboard.
Thank you. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I will see you at the next board meeting.
Well, well.
You haven't congratulated me yet, TJ.
How'd you pull it off? And why didn't you tell me or your father?
To tell you the truth, I didn't even know about it myself. It was Iris's idea. She called me and she asked me to come over, and then she told me that she was planning to ask Grant to run the company. And in the course of the conversation, she asked me if I would be interested in replacing Justin as head of the production division.
And as a member of the board of directors?
Yes.
So it all just fell right in your lap, didn't it? Except there's only one small problem.
What's that?
You don't know anything about the oil business.
I can learn.
What's the real reason behind this move, Rena?
Hopefully, when I'm running the production division, World Oil will be in competition with Justin. I figure that eventually he'll have his own company, and then I can go after him, TJ.
You don't know what you're getting yourself into. And what's more important, you don't know what you're doing to yourself.
I know exactly what I'm doing, and I'm very happy about it.
How would Max feel if he were here?
If Max were here, I wouldn't have to do it. I'm doing it for him. Look, TJ, I don't need your help or your advice. Why don't you go back to Casablanca and leave me alone? Did he get the stills?
I don't know.
And why is he slipping it under the door?
I can't answer that either. I don't have the answers, Paige. But I'm going to try to get them.
How?
I'll talk to someone in the film lab at KVIK and see where you could go to reproduce photographs of that kind or a movie.
Do you really think that that would help?
Well, they deal with all the film labs in Houston. If that doesn't turn up anything, then I'll think of something else, but we will work it out some way.
Why do I always cause so much trouble for the people I love?
You've got to stop all this blaming yourself. It's true. You're not causing me any trouble.
I should never have gotten you involved in this.
It's no trouble to be involved with someone you love.
Hello, Elliot. I'm so sorry to have kept you waiting.
You busy?
Yes, my lawyers are meeting with the legal counsel from the FCC, and I had to answer some questions.
Trouble?
No, we're thinking of adding another station to the Victory Network. And you know how much red tape that always involves. Now, what can I do for you?
Well, it's about this evening.
We're going to have a wonderful time.
Well, Vicky, there is a slight problem, and I was wondering if we could put our evening off.
Why?
Well, it's Paige.
Paige?
Yes, I saw her earlier today, and I'm afraid she's just not feeling up to going out tonight.
Well, what's wrong with her? Isn't she feeling well?
Oh, no. It isn't that. It's...
What is it?
Well, she's opening a new shop in the Galleria, and I'm afraid she's taken on a mountain of work. She's supposed to have the shop open in 2 weeks, and things are just unbelievably hectic right now.
Well, Elliot, I would really rather not put this off.
Vicky,
Look, perhaps tonight's dinner is just what Paige needs. It might even take her mind off her problems for a while.
Well, you may be right.
I am right. Trust me, Elliot. And besides, I'd like to talk to Paige about this boutique. It's the first time I've heard about it. I think it's a wonderful idea. You know, KVIK does features on the Galleria all the time, and, well, perhaps we can do a feature and get Paige a little publicity.
Well, that would be wonderful.
Oh, please, Elliot. Try and talk her into joining us tonight. I'm sure she'll have a very good time.
Well, okay, Vicky, I'll talk to Paige. I'll let you know if there's any problem.
Fine.
Justin, I wish that you would just calm down.
My whole career has been destroyed. Our whole future has been destroyed, and all you can tell me is to calm down.
Well, now, Justin, I don't think that you've been destroyed.
You don't. I wonder what you'd call it then. Your friend Iris Wheeler stabbed me in the back, and her friend Rena Decker was there to help.
Oh, Justin.
But she said that Iris would support me.
Well, Justin, she promised that she would. I mean, how was I supposed to know that she'd turn against us?
It's bad enough to be kicked out, but to be replaced by Rena Decker.
I know, sweetheart.
I don't understand how you could allow something like this to happen, Ashley.
What did you say? This is not my fault, Justin. Now, I kept trying to go to see Iris Wheeler to find out if she was still going to support you, and you wouldn't let me go. You said that you could handle everything on your own. Now, you got yourself into this mess. Don't you dare blame me for it, Buster.
What's all this shouting about?
I've been voted out of office, Grandma. Out of the company.
Well, that shouldn't surprise you, Justin. What surprises me is that you've lasted this long.
That's one you want?
Yep.
How about some potato chips or candy?
No, thanks, Dad. I just want a cheeseburger.
Okay.
You a runner, son?
Yeah, I run the mile. Not in record time, but I'm working on it.
I can always spot a runner. My son's a long-distance runner, too. Got a scholarship to UT this year.
I want to go to A&M. That's where my dad went.
You got a fine boy there.
Thank you. Come on, son.
Good luck, son. Enjoy that cheeseburger.
Thanks. Hey, Dad,
Yeah.
can I get another magazine, please?
Sure. Anything you want.
Oh, dear, you just missed them.
We stalled him as long as we could.
How long ago did he leave?
Only about 10 minutes. It couldn't be much longer than that.
Did he give you any hint of where he might be headed?
Not really. Mr. Marshall said that he had to cut his vacation short. He had to leave town.
He gave no indication of where he's headed, which direction?
Not a clue. I offered to suggest to him some car rental agencies that have offices all across the country, but he said that he wasn't interested. Maybe they're not going to go by car.
Did you notice, did they have any suitcases?
No, they didn't have any.
Are you sure?
Sure as that can be. There weren't any in the car, and they weren't carrying any.
Ryan, I know they had luggage. Where was it?
Well, they might have checked him in at the bus station, the airport.
Maybe they put him in a locker at the bus station.
There's several motels in this area. Maybe they checked into one of those.
But he told you he was leaving town, right?
That's right.
I just remembered something.
What?
Well, the boy, he said he was hungry. He kept going on about it. Mr. Marshall said they'd go and eat as soon as they were done here.
Maybe they're in one of the coffee shops or a restaurant around here. There's a few in the neighborhood.
Can I use your phone?
Sure.
I'm going to check in with Cody at the highway patrol, have him check all the terminals.
Right ahead. Help yourself.
I didn't expect your support, Grandma.
You don't deserve any. You've been manipulating people for months now.
I don't think you understand something, Grandma. My whole future has been destroyed.
I doubt that. People like you always manage to land on their feet, Justin.
Not this time, Grandma.
Oh, yes, you'll survive. In a way, it's a pity. But then, too, it's a fact. You'll find your way back to power, Justin. No matter what you have to do to get there.
I hope you're right.
I am right. You mark my words. I just wish you'd go somewhere else to do it.
Sweetheart, don't worry about anything. We don't need world oil.
I had everything I wanted, Ashley. Everything. It's all gone now.
You'll get it back. I'll help you.
Will you?
Of course I will.
The one thing that Iris Wheeler, Rena Decker, couldn't take from me.
What's that?
Our baby.
Justin?
What?
You made quite a bit of money while you were at World Oil, didn't you?
Fair amount.
But enough, say, to go 5 or 6 months and not really have to worry about anything.
Yeah. I also made some very good contacts. I should be able to put together some pretty successful deals. Maybe now is the time to form Marshall Oil. What do you think?
Didn't always smile, Max. We had our share of fights.
I got a surprise for you.
What? What is it? Oh. It's beautiful.
It's a love knot. Can't ever be untied.
It's beautiful. We didn't have to do that, Max.
Yeah, I know. But I missed you so much. And I love you so much. I'll do my best to make you happy. I promise.
I'll do my best to make you happy. I love you, Max Decker. I do love you, Max Decker. What are you doing here?
I wanted to talk to you, so I followed you.
You seem to make a habit of that, don't you?
Rena, all I've done since I've been back in Houston is argue with you and shout at you and then apologize.
You can say that again.
I'd like to change that pattern.
Look, can we save that for another time? I just like to be alone for a while.
You sure?
Yes. Got some things to think over.
Okay. I understand.
Thank you.
Rena,
What?
will you be all right?
Thank you, TJ. I'll be just fine.
You know, I'm really looking forward to building our house. I'm gonna make sure it's built right. I'm gonna make that house, I'm gonna build it so it lasts for generations.
Honey, if we don't have any children, it won't matter if the house lasts for generations or not. So, maybe we should think about having a family.
A family? But you never wanted to talk about that before.
I know. I wasn't ready before. But I've been thinking about it for a long time now. How would you like to be a daddy?
Be a daddy.
I promise you, my darling, you will be a daddy.
I love you, Rena Decker.
And I love you, Max Decker.
Time. It's time to say goodbye, Max.
All right, Cody, we'll do. Thanks a lot, huh?
Ryan, what did Cody say?
He's checking the terminals.
Is there something that we can do? Did he say there must be something we can do to help?
Yeah, there is. He thinks we should check around the neighborhood. They might still be here.
Okay, let's get going. Mrs. Key, thank you again. You've been wonderful.
Well, I just hope that Mr. Marshall doesn't spread the word around that my organization's inefficient. We did keep him here for quite a while.
No, I'm sure that won't happen. Ryan and I'll make sure that we tell everybody how helpful you've been. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I hope everything turns out okay.
Thanks.
Excuse me.
Where on earth do we start?
Well, there seem to be quite a few coffee shops and restaurants in the next block. Let's start there.
What's wrong?
Nothing.
You mad at me?
No. I'm just tired, that's all.
Well, maybe when we get back to the motel, you should take a nap.
I guess that's what I'll do.
Dad?
What, son?
Why couldn't we stay at the cabin another day if we're not leaving town yet?
A motel has a nice swimming pool. Maybe we could go for a swim later.
Okay. Thanks.
And that is more food than you've had all week.
Well, I guess I'm used to Grandma's cooking.
You don't like my cooking?
It's okay, but it's not as good as Grandma's or Mom's.
Well. Guess I'll just have to practice and get better.
Why are you only having coffee?
I'm not hungry.
Dad, when we get back to the motel, can I call Buddy?
He'll be in school.
No, he'll be home by
No,
then.
I think you better wait until tomorrow to call him.
Why? Why can't I call him this
Because I
afternoon?
don't want you to call him. That's why.
Okay, Dad.
Eat your dinner, okay?
Come in. Hello. Well, hello, sweetheart. Something wrong? Nothing. Are you sure?
Be all right, Mama.
You've been crying. Will you tell me why?
Did you hear about the board meeting?
Yes, I heard.
I suppose TJ called you.
As a matter of fact, he did.
Well, what do you think?
It came as such a surprise, I really don't know what to think.
Surprised me, too. Justin got a little something of what he deserves.
Yes, he did. Does that make you happy?
Did for a while. I don't think it matters anymore.
I hope you mean that, sweetheart. Honey?
Went out to the cabin today.
Oh, why didn't you tell me? I would have gone with you.
I know that. Just something I had to do by myself, Mama. I had to make some decisions on my own.
Did you make any?
Mm-hmm. Can't live at the cabin. I'm sure of that now.
Our home is yours. You can stay there for as long as you like.
I know. I went to the cemetery, Mama. It's the first time I've been able to go. I haven't been able to since.
I know.
I've decided that I can't live the rest of my life mourning Max's death. Max wouldn't have wanted that. He loved life too much.
Yes, he did.
Oh, Mama. So hard to say goodbye.
Check, please.
Dad, I haven't finished yet.
Check, please. Just take your time, son. We're gonna just get the check, that's all.
I wonder what Grandma's doing now.
I don't know.
Dad?
What?
Don't you miss Grandma?
Yes, I do.
Then why can't we live on the ranch with her?
Because Uncle Justin actually live there now.
Uncle Justin was teaching me how to jump. He told me he used to have a thoroughbred horse, the finest in the state.
Yeah. Yes. Won a lot of blue ribbons. Lady Kate.
Lady Kate?
Yeah, they named her after Grandma.
I think we could all live on the ranch together.
No, Steve. I think we'd be much better off if we lived somewhere else.
I don't.
Besides, it'd be too hard for you to see your mother.
No, I'd like to see her.
Does she want to see you? You read the letter. She wants to have Ryan Connor's children. Make a new family. There isn't going to be time for her in your life. I'm sorry, son, but you just have to accept the way that she feels about you, that's all. Thank you.
I don't believe Mom doesn't love me anymore.
Yeah, I remember that kid. He was a runner.
Do you know what direction they were headed?
No, I didn't notice. Oh, wait a minute, though. He said he wanted a cheeseburger. Maybe they went to one of the coffee shops down the street.
Thank you.
What's going on?
It'd be a long story, but thanks a lot for your help.
Oh, you're welcome.
Son, I never thought your mother would stop loving me either. But she did. I think Ryan Connor's responsible. And Rena Decker.
Rena?
Yes. She never liked me, you know. When she and your mother got to be such good friends, Rena said terrible things about me. She poisoned your mother's mind against me. And Rena's a good friend of Ryan's, too.
Rena loves me, she told me. But she never said bad things about you to me.
She's too clever for that. And she may have told you that she loved you, but it's not true.
Dad.
I don't enjoy having to tell you these things, son. But the sooner you face up to them, the better. Now, I know how much it hurts to hear them. But you have to know where you stand with people. And that's why I came back to Houston to take care of you, to love you, to support you. You just forget about your mother and Rena Decker. We'll make a good life together, I promise you. Now finish your dinner, okay?
Mm-mm. I haven't seen anybody around here fitting that description. Keep an eye out, though, for you. Of course, yeah, there's a couple of coffee shops over on the next block here.
If they checked into a motel, I bet it has a swimming pool. Steve would insist on that.
What's wrong?
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Texas.
Dark hair, dark beard. The boy has light hair, reddish blonde.
I haven't seen anyone around here fitting that description.
Come on, Steve, let's get a move on.
Wait, I haven't finished my dinner
That's all right.
yet.
If you're still hungry, we'll get something later. Come on.
No, at least let me finish my milk.
Come on.
Okay, thank you.
Got it? Yep. Thanks. Okay, you want to help me with this meeting?
Yeah, set it up over here.
So, what time is Mr. Carrington coming for you?
Oh, about 6:30, I think.
You know, I think he is the most distinguished man I've ever met. Well, he's so intelligent. And he's such a gentleman.
He's a good friend.
Are you worried about your meeting with Mrs. Oliver?
No.
I just thought you seemed a little distracted.
I am a little distracted. I have something on my mind.
Is it anything that I can help you with?
No, Nita. I only wish it were.
Excuse me. I don't know what else to do, Mrs. Wheeler. I tried everything I could think of when I talked to Dennis this afternoon. Where did you see him? At the house. He stopped by after you left. He wanted to know if you wanted to ride to the board meeting.
What did you talk about?
Oh, I don't know. I offered my assistance in helping him set up this video cassette system and everything, and he said it was all under control.
You didn't let on that you knew what he was planning, did you?
No, of course I didn't. I even offered to go and be his housekeeper.
Whatever for?
Because I thought if I could get a hold of his keys, I could go into his apartment and search the place for that pornographic film Paige made.
Oh,
Vivi, I really wish you hadn't done that.
Why not?
Because in the first place, it's not a film that we're looking for.
It's not?
No. If Dennis is planning to substitute Paige's film for Elliot's documentary, it means that he's had it transferred onto a video cassette.
Oh.
What if you've made him suspicious?
Oh, no, Dennis would never suspect me.
Well, I hope not. Because we have to find that cassette, and if he's suspicious, it will make our task impossible.
Mrs. Wheeler, what are we going to do if we find this cassette?
We're going to put this one in its place.
What is this?
It's another cassette.
How's everything going?
Hi.
Hi, Dennis.
Everything is going just fine.
Texas, starring Beverly McKinsey.
Hi. Rather have a booth or a table?
We want some information.
What do you mean, information?
We're looking for a man who has a little boy with him. The man's dark, tall, he has a full beard. The boy's about 11 years old, fair, reddish blonde hair.
Sure. Hey, you're not cops, are you? I don't want any trouble.
No, we're not police.
I'm the boy's mother. I'd just like to talk to him.
Now, they're here. They're sitting right over here, but that's funny, they're gone.
Where were they?
Oh, right here. I didn't see him leave. Look, the boy hasn't even finished. They're probably in the men's room.
Where is it?
It's back there to the left. You're sure he's not going to cause any trouble?
No, he won't.
Hey, what is this? Some sort of custody battle?
Sort of.
My sister got involved in a battle over her kid. That's a real mess. You want coffee, soda, something?
No, thank you.
You sure got a good-looking boy.
Oh, thank you very much.
They're not there.
Ryan, what do you mean you're not there? We were outside. We would have seen him come out.
Maybe they went out the back way.
Let's go.
Steve, come on.
I nearly tripped over this thing.
Here, let me do it.
I can do it myself. Why are we leaving in such a hurry, and why are we leaving by the back door?
I'll explain later.
Well, why can't you explain
Steve,
now?
come on.
What time is Elliot supposed to arrive?
Vicky says that they should be here by 8 o'clock.
Oh, well, that's good. It should leave us plenty of time.
For what?
Well, for any last-minute arrangements.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that if I were you. I'm sure that Vivian and Alfredo have everything under control.
Speaking of Alfredo, I'd better go and check on his seating arrangements.
Oh, that's a good idea, Vivian. Why don't you do that?
Okay. Excuse me.
You don't seem very happy.
Why should I be?
Now, you listen to me.
Dennis, why can't you give up this fool idea of embarrassing Paige? To show that dreadful pornographic
It is
film.
not a fool idea.
These people are my friends.
There's nothing to worry about. Once the film is shown, I promise you, I will take full responsibility. No one will ever know you were involved.
They're very important people.
That's the general idea.
Don't you realize the scandal you're going to cause?
If it's a scandal you're worried about, then maybe you ought to talk to Paige. After all, she's the one who made the film in the first place.
Why are you really doing this?
I told you. I want Dad to see Paige for what she really is.
All right, Paige. I have this mailing list all done.
Oh, great, Nita. Super, thank you. Oh, Nita.
Yeah.
I know it's late, but I think it might be a good idea if you were to stay around and meet Mrs. Oliver.
No, it's all right. I'm in no rush.
Well, you'll probably have a lot of dealings with her in the next couple of weeks. Of course, that is if she accepts my proposal.
Well, now, I'm sure she will. I mean, making the opening of the boutique a benefit for the Orphan Charity Fund, that's a wonderful idea.
Well, if we can pull this one off, it'll be to everyone's advantage.
I'm sure we're going to make a pile of money for a worthy cause and bring all those society ladies in that we need for customers.
Yeah, the only trouble is Mrs. Oliver didn't sound all that enthusiastic on the phone.
Well, we're just going to have to see to it that she gets enthused. Oh, I wonder what kind of woman she is.
I don't know. According to Vicki Bellman, Mr. Oliver is in real estate, but Mrs. Oliver is from old Texas money.
Uh-huh. Maybe that's her.
Mrs. Oliver?
Yes.
Hello, I'm Paige Carrington.
Oh, how do you do?
Please come in.
Yes.
So nice to meet you at long last. We've spoken so many times on the phone. We have a lot of work to do before the boutique is finished, Mrs.
Yes, so I see.
Would you like to see the plans? It might give you a better idea of what it's going to look like when it's finished.
That won't be necessary.
This is my assistant, Nita Wright.
Oh, I see. Well, how do you do?
How do you do, Mrs. Oliver? Can I get you some coffee or some tea?
I think not.
Oh, please, have a seat.
Oh, thank you.
Well, then, have you had a chance to think about my proposal?
Well, of course I have. That's why I'm here. But before I commit myself to anything, however, I'd like to know more about your boutique.
Oh, of course.
What did you say the name of it was?
Page.
Page.
Page 1. Paige 1.
Page 1? Yes. I see. Well, that's rather cute. But I hope it's not going to be one of those garish places with flashing lights and that dreadful disco music blaring at you all the time.
Oh, no, Mrs. Oliver. On the contrary, Page 1 is going to be very sedate.
I see. Well, that's fortunate because we're dealing with orphans and we have to be very careful of the atmosphere we allow our charity to associate with.
Oh, I quite understand.
Oh, Mrs. Oliver, we plan on having the very best clientele.
You know, it's very difficult these days to find a merchant who knows what real quality is. Everybody wants to be so trendy, so with it.
I know exactly what you mean, Mrs. Oliver.
Of course, I'm so spoiled. I can recall when Yves opened up his first salon in Paris. Now, there was someone who knew quality.
We lost them.
Honey.
Don't get upset.
We were so close.
We know they're not in a car now, so it's going to be easier to find them.
All right.
We're going to split up again and look for them now. I'm going to meet you back at the Kia Rent-A-Car in half an hour, okay?
Oh, Elliot, I wish you could have been there. She was just unbelievable.
She really was, Mr. Carrington.
Every other word was, I see. I see. I see.
And she said, I do hope, right? It's not one of those garish places with flashing lights and everything.
Right, with blaring disco music.
Oh, yes.
I must say, Mrs. Oliver sounds like quite an experience.
I haven't laughed so hard in I don't know how long. Oh, the minute she left, it was all Nita and I could do for falling down and starting to laugh.
Well, she really picked up your mood.
Oh, I'm sorry, darling. It must seem a little foolish, but she was rather peculiar. She
I
really
gather.
was.
Oh, and then she started reminiscing about the good old days when Yves Saint Laurent opened her boutique
what did
in
you call
Paris.
it?
Yes. Yes. And she went on for about 15 minutes. We thought she wasn't going to stop.
Well, what about the most important thing? Did she agree to let the Orphans Fund sponsor the opening?
Well, she never really gave me a definite answer. She said that she was going to have to go back to the committee and talk to the ladies.
I think, though, we pretty much sold her.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, but I did the craziest thing, Elliot.
What?
Well, she asked me what I was going to call the place,
Yeah, you and Nita have talked about that.
but we never came up with an idea.
Well, what did you tell her?
I told her that I thought I was going to call it Page 1.
I like that.
I think it's a great idea. Then Paige can hold this whole string of boutiques. Page 1, Page 2, Page 3, and Page...
Well, now we have two things to celebrate this evening. Mrs. Oliver's possible backing of the opening and a new name.
Speaking of celebrating, we better go or we're going to be late because I have to go back to the hotel and change.
Right.
Well, you go ahead. I'll close up the shop.
Are
It's
you sure
okay.
you don't mind?
Oh, it's fine. I got some phone calls to make. You go ahead and have a nice time.
Thank you. See you in the morning, all right? Bye-bye.
Good night.
Oh, here comes trouble. Keep an eye on things in the dining room, baby.
What are you trying to do to us, Mrs. Wheeler?
Lower your voice, Ashley. This is a public place.
I want some answers, and I want them right now. You promised to help us, and you never intended to keep that promise. You let Justin walk into that board meeting thinking that he still had a job, that he was going to run the production division, that he had your support, and you never intended to keep it.
Ashley, I had no choice. When Grant agreed to take over the company, he did so on the condition that Justin be replaced. Dennis gave his proxy to Grant, and Ryan gave his to TJ. They had the majority vote. There was nothing I could do.
You could have warned us. Justin could have been prepared.
There wasn't time. Everything happened so quickly.
Oh, and I suppose the only person available to take Justin's position is Rena Decker?
Grant and Ryan wanted Rena on the board.
Oh, and you didn't have anything to say about it.
I was outnumbered. What could I do?
You've gone against a lot bigger odds than that.
It wasn't worth arguing about.
Justin's future is nearly destroyed, and you don't think that it's worth arguing about?
Justin is a very clever man. He has a bright future ahead of him. It's just not at World Oil. Now, when you calm down and give this some thought, I'm sure you'll realize that I'm right.
You know what I do realize? That I was a fool to ever trust you. I was a fool to think that you ever cared about me or anybody.
I do care about you.
Sure you do. When it suits your purposes. When you don't have to go on the line for it. Because when you do, it's goodbye, Ashley. Goodbye, Justin. Goodbye, Mrs. Wheeler.
Paige told me that you and Billy Joe have just recently gotten a divorce.
Yes, we have.
I'm sorry to hear about that. Paige seems to like both you and Billy Joe.
You know, Mr. Carrington, I still care about him. But sometimes two people who care about each other have to separate for everybody's good. And I guess this is just one of those times.
I know how difficult that can be. So does Paige. I suppose you know that she and my son Dennis have recently come through a difficult divorce themselves.
Yeah, I know. Does she and Dennis, do they ever see each other anymore?
Oh, not very often. They run into each other occasionally, but Dennis is still very uncomfortable around Paige.
Do you think he's ever going to get over that?
Well, I thought so in the beginning, but now I begin to wonder.
I don't think Billy Joe isn't very comfortable around me either. But how about you? You've been divorced from Mrs. Wheeler. How do you feel around her now?
Oh, I don't have any problem being around Iris now.
Billy Joe won't even see me now. I keep thinking he's going to get over it, but... Billy Joe.
Where's Mrs. Carrington?
Oh, she's gone for the evening.
Oh, she's not going to be back soon then?
No. Can I help you with anything?
Yeah, you can tell her that I dropped by.
Do you want to come in?
No.
Hey, what's the matter? I'm not going to bite.
No, I gotta get to work. I'm real busy.
Well,
I gotta
don't
get back.
you have a few minutes? I mean, since you're here, I'd like to talk to you.
I don't think we've got a whole lot to talk about.
Oh, Billy Joe.
I mean, if
Look,
you wanted to talk to me, you could have done that before you got hired that lawyer of yours.
Can we just forget about that?
No, I
okay?
can't forget about it. I'm not ever going to forget about it. You divorced me, Nita. And you did that for no good reason.
Look, Billy Joe, I don't want to go through all this again.
No? Well, what do you want?
I want us to be friends. You know, Mr. Carrington says you're doing very well on your talk show. I watch it whenever I can. You look real cute.
Nita, there's no way we're going to be friends.
Well, maybe not now, but at least we shouldn't be enemies.
You don't need to worry about that. I'm not your enemy, but I can't be your friend. I don't want to see you. I don't want to have anything to do with you.
Why?
Because you hurt me, Nita. You hurt me a whole lot. I'm not going to give you a chance to hurt me again.
I didn't mean to hurt you, Billy Joe. Hey, are you gonna keep sending Ruby to pick up Billy Joe Jr. when you want to see him?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
I don't want to lose you.
Well, you're a little late with that, honey. Because that's exactly what you've done.
Have I? Have I really?
Of course, Rena. I'll tell Jenny that you called. Yes, dear. Goodbye.
Hello. Where's Justin?
Well, he's down at the stable talking to Guy. Where have you been?
Town.
What's Justin going to do about a job?
Well, he really doesn't have to worry that much about it. He's got enough money saved up that he doesn't have to rush into anything.
Oh. Well, are you two planning to stay on out here at the ranch?
Why not? He owns 60% of it.
But he doesn't want to be a rancher. He wants to be an oil man. Well, he can't drill out here. I own the mineral rights, so what's the point in staying?
Because he wants to raise his children out here.
Oh, yes. His children. Ashley, I think Justin deserved to lose his job at World Oil. He was dishonest, and he framed Brian Connor.
Oh, please, Mrs. Marshall, I really don't feel like hearing a lecture on Justin right now.
Ashley, Justin has had just about all of the disappointment he can stand. If you're not pregnant, and I suspect you're not, you'd better do something about it.
There's no point in getting upset, Mrs. Wheeler. I'm upset enough for both of us. Vivian, are you sure you're trying? Yes. I have been watching Dennis very closely. I don't think he's got that cassette with him.
It has to be somewhere.
I think he's hidden it.
He hasn't left the club at any time, has he?
No, not since he got here. He's gone into the bar a couple of times, but that was just checking on things with Alfredo. He always comes right back here.
We have to be very careful not to make him suspicious.
Oh, don't worry. I always have a very good excuse whenever I go in that bar with him.
I wonder if he's hidden it here in the dining room.
I don't think so. I've tried searching. This is not very easy because Dennis is here. I've tried looking in the bar. Alfredo always asks me if I've lost something.
The thing that worries me is what we'll do if Dennis doesn't go for the cassette until the last minute. There's no way we'll be able to make the switch then.
Well, let's hope he doesn't do that.
Oh, Vivian, this whole thing is such a mess. How could he do this to me, my own son?
Why don't you just tell Dennis not to show the film?
I don't dare. If I refuse to go along with him at this point, he'll tell everyone that I agreed to help him in return for his vote to oust Ryan from World Oil.
You can just deny that.
No, I can't.
Why not?
Because I signed a statement to that effect.
Oh, Mrs. Wheeler, how could you have done that?
Doesn't matter how. The fact is I did.
Oh, brother, you surprised me, Mrs. Wheeler. You told me never to sign anything unless I had...
Where is the video cassette I gave you? What is that?
To hide the cassette. This way I can keep my eye on it and no one will suspect.
Don't let it out of your sight.
I won't, I promise.
Good.
Hey guys, bring it in here. Put the monitor over there and put the VCR right back here, all right?
What is that thing?
That's a video cassette recorder, Vivian. It's for showing my father's documentary.
I'll get this out of your way. Mrs. Wheeler, I guess I'll just be in the bar in case you need me for anything.
TJ, I don't want to stay.
You couldn't wait to leave your parents' house to come to this party.
That's because Mama told me that Paige was coming by with Elliot for a drink.
You don't get along with Paige?
She's a tramp.
Rena.
Believe me, she is. I don't understand why Elliot has anything to do with her. Come on, let's get out of here.
You told Iris that you'd be here.
I know, but it was a mistake. I can't do it, TJ.
Rena, you can't hide in your parents' house forever.
I know.
You are on the board of World Oil now. You're head of production. Look, half of your time is going to be spent in social gatherings like this.
I'm just not ready yet. Not tonight, anyway.
Look, I'll take you home if you really want, but I think you ought to stay and give it a shot.
Mrs. Decker, you look beautiful.
Oh, thank you, Vivi. This is TJ Canfield. He works in my daddy's law firm.
Well, pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
What's in that?
This is for later. Have you seen Mrs. Wheeler yet?
No,
Well,
we
you
just
tell her
got
to say
here,
hello,
so
because she's going to really be cheered up.
Mrs. Marshall, what makes you think that I'm not pregnant?
Instinct.
Well, your instincts are wrong this time.
For your sake, I hope so. I know how much it will mean to Justin to have children. I've been watching them with Steve. And his care and concern have surprised me and pleased me.
Oh, Justin's been so upset about Barrett taking Steve off.
We'll find Steve and we'll explain to him about Barrett. He'll understand.
Well, bless his heart. I know he just must be so confused right now.
You're pretty confused yourself right now, aren't you?
No. As a matter of fact, I think that I probably see things more clearly than I ever have. There's not anybody in the world that you can really trust except yourself. If you depend on other people, you're only going to get hurt.
It's pretty cynical philosophy. You know, in the long run, it's not going to make you any happier.
I am so tired of people disappointing me that I think care about me.
You mean Iris Wheeler?
Yes, Iris Wheeler.
Well, Rena managed to reconcile her differences with Iris Wheeler. She didn't think she could, but she did. Maybe one of these days you'll be reconciled with Iris, too.
Oh, no. She betrayed me and Justin. I'll never forgive her for that.
Well, the sun we've had here by then for Excuse me, please. Well,
I'm sorry. sorry, Mrs. Wheeler. I have crawled all over that kitchen. I cannot find the cassette that Dennis brought, unless he's locked it in the wine room.
I tried to search the bar, but there are too many people in there.
I checked that bar out earlier. I know it's not there.
Well, it has to be somewhere.
The coat room. There's nothing in there but hangers and a couple of old boots. You know, if you want to know what I think that he's put it away someplace private, like Alfredo's office.
No, I don't think so. Dennis wouldn't take that chance. Alfredo is in and out of there all the time. He'd find it.
So if Alfredo found it, he wouldn't know what it was.
Where is Dennis now?
He's in the bar, I think.
Well, go keep an eye on him and don't put that down.
All right.
So we'll just have to hope that Cody finds them.
Well, Cody called just before you two got here. He's checking all the rental car places in the area.
We checked as many of them as we could. No one had ever seen Barrett.
Well, I called Mrs. Sullivan at the lake and asked her to keep an eye out in case Steve and Barrett came back to the cabin.
I don't think they will. They're gone, Kate. They've left Houston. I may never see my son again.
Honey, come on. You know you don't believe that.
We were so close, Ryan, and we lost them.
But the next time we're going to find them.
There won't be a next time. Now that Barrett knows that we're looking for him, he's going to be very careful.
And after a while, Steve's going to miss you and he'll call.
Steve thinks we're on our honeymoon. He thinks we'll be in Acapulco for 3 weeks.
Okay, well then he'll call Kate or he'll call Rena or maybe Barrett will call Kate.
He usually calls once or twice a month, Ginny.
Well, he won't call now.
Listen, Kate, do you know the name of that doctor that Barrett was seeing in Colorado?
I have it in my address book.
Good. I think we ought to notify him in case Barrett tries to contact him.
Well, and even if he doesn't, he may have an idea where we could find Barrett, where he would go.
Maybe the doctor will be able to tell us if Barrett's stable enough to take care of Steve. I don't think he is.
Ginny, you're just going to have to stop imagining the worst.
I'll go get the doctor's name and address out of my telephone book.
Want a glass of wine?
No.
Honey, did Rena tell you that Iris was going to appoint her to the board of directors and make her head of the production division of World Oil?
Rena and I just talked about Steven. What do you think about that?
Well, I think she's going to have a pretty tough time.
Rena's smart. She's a quick learner. She's got TJ and Stryker to help her, and you'll help her too, won't you?
Mm-hmm. As long as she didn't take this job to destroy Justin.
Honey, Justin's been fired. That's enough for Rena.
I sure hope so.
Kate told me that Rena's going to Iris's party tonight. It'll be the first time she's been out socially since Max died.
Well, I hope this is the beginning of a whole new life for Rena.
No,
I think Rita's fantastic.
Iris, I didn't realize that you'd invited Ricky Decker.
Well, I thought it might be nice to have a little entertainment.
What's this about entertainment?
Grant was just asking about Ricky Decker.
I don't want any singing. Thought it might distract from the main attraction.
Oh, what is that?
My father's documentary called Tiger. It's about international terrorism.
Really? I missed that when it played.
Yeah, well, I think you're in for a surprise then.
Oh, I rather doubt that. I'm an old fan of your father's. I used to read his syndicated column long before he won the Pulitzer.
Elliot and Vicky should be here shortly.
Yes, and so should Paige.
A lot of people that I don't seem to know here. This group over here.
They're friends of Elliot's from KVIK.
Well, I wonder if it might not be a good idea to go over the entrance and create some sort of a
Or maybe
reception.
we could even hide.
That's a little immature, don't you
Everyone, if I could have your attention, please. My father should be here any minute. I thought it might be a nice idea if we all just kind of gathered over by the door.
What is this? What's going on?
It's a party. Your friends decided to get together and help you celebrate your reward.
Did you know about this?
No, I'm just as surprised as you are.
Elliot, dear, Congratulations.
Thank you. All very proud of you, Dad.
Well, I can't believe all this is for me.
Oh, you don't have to believe it. All you have to do is have a good time. Come on, let's see what we can do about getting you a glass of champagne.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I went into Stephen's room. You know that picture that he and Buddy had taken when they went to camp this summer together?
Mm-hmm.
He took it with him.
Buddy's his best friend.
Well, maybe that means that he'll write him a letter eventually, don't you think?
Maybe it does. Honey, I want you to know that if Steve and Barrett leave town before...
Steve promised to take care of Rena after Max died.
I know.
So he was going to want to come back and check on that before long. He's very loyal, you know. Unless Barrett turns Steve against Rena, too.
No, that isn't going to happen.
Well, I wouldn't count on it, Ryan. Barrett hates Rena almost as much as he hates me.
But Steve loves Rena almost as much as he loves you. Now, Barrett's not going to change him no matter how hard he tries.
Well, he sure managed to get Steve to question it. I mean, if Steve hadn't believed that letter that Barrett had faked, Ryan, how can Steve believe that we'd abandon him?
Look, Barrett's timing was perfect. He was able to get everything he wanted. Steve was upset about Max dying, about us getting married, about having to move into town. Steve was just very vulnerable to Barrett's tricks.
I didn't help him much either.
You know, Justin was pretty badly shaken by that board meeting.
Justin got exactly what he deserved.
That's what I told him.
Where are Ashley and Justin now?
Out to dinner.
I think I'll talk to Ryan. What did the doctor say?
I couldn't reach him, so I left a message on his service, but I did talk to one of the men who works in Stryker's office in Denver. Now, he knows the doctor, so he's going to try and reach him and explain the whole problem to him.
Well, I don't think that Barrett will do Steve any harm.
Barrett has already done Steve harm by turning him against me and tricking him with that fake letter.
Well, even so, I don't think
Stephen had a lot of trouble dealing with Barrett's moods last spring, Kate. He's terrified of his father. I don't think he can handle this on his own.
Listen, I'm going to call Cody and see if he's worked out anything with the car rental agencies.
Okay.
I think I'd better go and start supper.
Hello? Yeah, this is Ryan. Mm-hmm. Thanks. Yeah, I'll tell her. Cody's found out where Barrett rented the car from. Apparently, they've headed for Richmond, Virginia.
Richmond, Virginia?
Yeah, Barrett made arrangements to turn the car into the rental office down there.
Ryan, why would they go to Richmond, Virginia?
I don't know. Maybe Barrett wanted Steve to see your father.
My father's in Geneva.
Maybe you didn't know that.
We have to go to Richmond right now. We have to be there when Barrett and Steve arrive.
Honey, it's going to take them a couple of days to get down to Richmond. Now, just calm down. We've got time. We'll fly down to Richmond tomorrow, okay?
Dad, I thought you told the guy at the rent-a-car place that we were going to Richmond, Virginia.
That's right.
Then why are we heading west on Route 10?
Because I've changed my mind.
Oh. Then where are we going?
Montana?
How come?
Well, I just remembered a very good friend of mine from the Army. He has a ranch out there, and from everything that he said about it, I really think that you're going to like living there. You know, Montana is a lot like Texas.
How long do you think it'll take us to drive there?
What difference does it make? We're not in any hurry, are we? You know, you and I have hardly had much time to get to know each other. Now that we do, why don't we just take it easy and see the sights, okay?
And this is Margaret Hanson.
Margaret is one of our anchor persons on the 11 o'clock news. Oh, yes, I know. You have the daytime interview show. Is that correct?
That's right. Who's News in Houston? In fact, I was hoping to line up your daughter for an interview, now that she's on the board of World Oil.
Rena's on the board of World Oil.
Yes, Elliot, it's true. The board of directors confirmed it this afternoon.
Well, that's wonderful. I'll have to find Rena and offer my congratulations.
Oh, I can't wait to interview her.
Margaret, perhaps I'd better speak with Rena first.
Oh, maybe we both could. I think she's free right now. Come on.
Margaret. Excuse me.
How are you doing?
I am having a wonderful time.
Good. Don't worry about the other thing. We'll get to the bottom of it.
I'm not worried about anything tonight.
Good.
You, sir, have a lot of friends.
Yes, I suppose I have.
I wonder where Dennis disappeared to.
No, haven't seen him since we arrived.
I must admit he and Iris have been very civil to each other.
Well, this is very public. Iris is a great one for keeping up appearances.
Alfredo, have you seen Vivian?
No, ma'am. Perhaps she's in the kitchen.
No, I've already checked in there.
Let me ask the waiters in the bar.
Somebody let me out of here! Somebody! Oh, nuts!
Dennis, where have you been?
For a walk?
A walk?
That's right. And now that I'm back, it's time for a presentation.
Is that Page's film?
Every juicy bit of it. I had it put on this cassette.
I think it would be better if you waited a while.
If I wait a while, all of my guests will leave.
When you show that film, I can guarantee you they will leave.
All right, then. They'll all be that much wiser for the experience. And so will Dad.
Dennis.
Everyone, if I may have your attention. As you all know, we're here to help my father celebrate a very special award. And as a special tribute to him, for those of you who haven't seen it, and for those of you who have, I've arranged a special showing of his documentary. So if you'll all gather around the monitors, we'll get started.
I wish you hadn't done that, Dennis. I'm afraid you got these people here under false pretenses.
Oh, Elliot, don't be modest. It's a wonderful piece of journalism, and you know it.
If you'll all follow me, please. The best seats in the house.
Dennis.
Enjoy it.
Have you found Vivian?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Wheeler.
Elliot, I'm so excited.
I thought you'd seen this before.
I have, but I'm excited about seeing it again with you.
Alfredo, if you'll dim the lights, please, we're ready to start.
Oh, Elliot.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Texas.